everyone. Welcome to this month's edition of North Central Outdoors. I'm your host, Nathan Karch. I hope everybody had a fantastic 2017 deer season and waterfowl season. It was very productive on both ends. Numbers were down a little bit from last year. I know looking at our records for the deer hunting season, they were down. And then I can probably say, for most people that the waterfowl count was down as well, just by interactions out in the field, talking to people that I stopped and everything and did inspections with. And I think we can attribute that to just the crazy amount of rain that we've had lately. It's been a very, very wet winter, and it's been very, very cold. I know January was just very frigid. The duck holes were frozen up. We had really high water, and I think a lot of the hunters just weren't out in the field this year like the previous years, just because of those conditions. I mean, you couldn't hardly get to your duck holes, and if you did, the ducks weren't in there, and if you were deer hunting, you didn't want to be sitting out in single-digit weather and things like that, and the rains. So the numbers were down, but they tend to fluctuate like that. Historically, we can see that trend. It's just up and down, and I think we'll see that next year they'll probably reset. We did have a setback in the eastern portion of the state with EHD, but again, that's another thing that happens every year. It just occurs in different portions of the state. It hit harder in the eastern portion, but we take that into account. Our biologists take that into account for our population estimates. So it doesn't have to do strictly with the numbers harvested. We take into account disease and individuals hit by cars and things like that. So it's nothing to be alarmed about. It's just how it ended up. Another thing to talk about, as temperatures are warming up and hopefully the rain just goes somewhere else, everybody's looking to go to the lake and maybe participate in some of the recreational boating activities and opportunities that we have in the state, and then to just go fishing. So with that being said, as of February 28th, all of our state licenses have since expired. So the 2017-2018 licenses are out, and you have to go purchase your 2018-2019 licenses if you are wanting to hunt or fish. And as of February 28th, all of our game hunts and everything like that are out for the 2017 and 18 season. So right now, the only thing in is actually fishing. We're preparing for our spring turkey season. We're all very, very excited about that. But there's a few different options with your licenses. If you are just the all-around hunter and you fish, you turkey hunt, you deer hunt, you small game hunt, you maybe trout fish, you do the waterfowl, you go on our wildlife management areas and participate in the public land hunts, then the sportsman's package is what you need. That's just our all-inclusive license for the state. It covers every supplemental license, and it's just going to be the best bang for your buck. Now, if you're somebody that maybe just goes fishing a lot but hunts once in a blue moon, maybe you just only turkey hunt or deer hunt or something like that, you can kind of just purchase those individual licenses as you go, and you might want to just see what you're going to do for the year instead of just purchasing it all up front. So there's several different options, but you can go to tnwildlife.org and view those different options, and you can purchase them online. And if you're not familiar with our state app, you can go to your app store and download TWRA on the go, and it's got tons of good information on it. I know it's got all of the waterfowl hunting and fishing guides directly on there, so you can look those up. And then it's also got your big game check-in. So if you kill a deer or turkey or anything like that, you can immediately check it in on your phone app and you're good to go. If you're hunting private land, you will have to know your parcel number, so try to have that handy up front. But just know that's available to you. Everybody's excited about the spring turkey season. That's coming up. That's going to be the juvenile hunt is March 24th and 25th, and then the statewide season opens that immediate weekend, that next weekend, March 31st, and that'll extend into May. Some considerations for turkey hunting. Just know that just like deer, baiting is illegal. We enforce that heavily. So if you are putting an attractant out, such as crack corn or anything like that, that's okay, but you can't hunt over it. If you're doing it for the purpose of just viewing wildlife, that's fine. You just can't put that out there to attract those animals in order to hunt over. The legal hunting hours for turkey is 30 minutes before legal sunrise and then at legal sunset. So just be mindful of that. They've got apps for that as well, so you can check the legal sunset and sunrise. There is no minimum of shells that you can have. Just make sure that you are using turkey loads, because there are restrictions on that. You can't obviously use any type of buckshot or slugs or anything like that. They have to be turkey loads. Also, just keep in mind that while you're turkey hunting, you are not required to wear blaze orange. And if you did, you probably wouldn't have that much luck. But if you're hunting private lands with several individuals, or you're hunting public lands where a lot of people are going to be out there, be mindful that you're in full camouflage. People are using, calls to mimic the sounds of turkeys, and they're using decoys. And a lot of decoys are moving nowadays. They've got electronic decoys and things like that. So just be mindful that, there are other hunters out there, and just identify your target before you pull that trigger, and know what's beyond your target before you pull that trigger. It's just vital that you know that. If you have not had hunter education yet, now is a perfect time to get enrolled in one of our classes. You have the opportunity to just go through the whole class, or you can actually study the material online and then go to a field day. And that field day is just one day, and basically that's just going to be a review of all the information, and you're going to have a test, and then you're going to do the firing portion, and then you're certified. You never have to take that class again, and it's recognized by all the states in the U.S., so if you ever want to go hunting in a different state, you're covered. But that is required by law, so if you've not had that already and you want to go turkey hunting, make sure that you've had hunter education. The only exception is the apprentice licenses, and you can do that for 3 years back to back, and that's your hunter ed exemption for the time being, but you must be accompanied by an adult 21 years of age or older who can take immediate possession of the firearm. So just go ahead and knock that out, and you'll be fine. If you're wanting to participate in boating or fishing on a boat, also be aware that you have to be certified through our boaters education. That is also just kind of like the hunter's education, where it's recognized in all 48 states, the lower 48, and you never have to take it again. Once you're certified, you're good to go. But that is a mandatory class by law that you have to take in order to operate a vessel, and that is if you were born after January 1st of 1989. And I failed to mention the hunter ed. If you were born after January 1st of 1969, you are required to do that. But back to the boating. If you've had your boat in winter storage all winter long, just get it out and make sure it's in working order. Make sure you have all your proper safety equipment, all your life jackets, that they are in good working condition, that they fit everyone, and you have an adequate number for everybody that's going to be on board, and they're readily accessible. Make sure that you have a throw cushion if you have a boat that's 16 foot or larger, a fire extinguisher if you have an enclosed gas tank. Make sure that you look at those things year to year, because some of them go bad, so make sure your fire extinguisher is in the green. Also, if you plan to be out after dark, make sure that you have proper navigation lights and that those are working, your red and greens and your stern light. Those are all things to just be mindful of, okay? So that wraps it up for this month's edition of North Central Outdoors. I hope everybody has a great month, and stay safe out there. Just take all those safety considerations in mind, and I hope everybody has a fantastic time out there on the water or in the woods, and we'll see you next time.